This is my 11th year advising the Pony Express. It's an award-winning publication. I was fortunate to take over an award-winning publication when I started. We've earned Quill and Scroll International First Place for 11 straight years, gold or silver in the state of Minnesota, typically ranked first or second in Best of Show. We've had numerous individual awards every single year. We've had 3 Minnesota State Journalists of the Year, Janet Gibson, Abby Lindenkugel, and Chelsea.
Thank you.
So our kids, and those 3 in the last 5 years. So our students are competing at a state level. We've placed twice in the top 10 nationally, so we're ranking well at a national level. Our kids do write-off contests not only in the state but in the nation and rank very well. So it's a very strong publication. We start off at the beginning of every issue with brainstorming. And the way that works is every student contributes 11 ideas, 1 for every section of the newspaper, both print and online. And we take those cards or those ideas and divide them up by section and then give them back to students, and they create pitch cards. Pitch cards?
Yes. All right, pitch cards. So every section of the newspaper has a group of students who takes care of the ideas that were written, that were pitched by the students for that particular section. And the day of brainstorming in class, we get in those designated groups and we throw out the ideas that we don't think would be good for our publication, and we save the ideas that we are interested in writing about. And then that's how pitch cards work. And then at brainstorming, the day of pitch cards day is when the entire staff gets together and we present those ideas, and then we come together and vote on the final ones that we decide to write about. And then we take note of everything, document everything down. It's a fun process. It gets a little chaotic sometimes, but it's all in the package deal of being a major publication.
Guys, listen to Stephanie. Guys, listen. It's not that hard to be quiet. Okay. All right. Everyone listen. Come here.
Brainstorming is my favorite day of the cycle. Article collection day is my least favorite day of the cycle. I love brainstorming because every month we manage to come up with 90 different ideas that are completely new and fresh and different. But sometimes getting there is challenging because every single student on staff has a different idea about what makes a good story, what makes an interesting story, what makes an appropriate story. And sometimes you just have to duke it out. And the biggest challenge is keeping people from talking about every article. For example, you might be doing something on a band, and then somebody says, oh, I know somebody in a band, or I know somebody who wrote a song, or I know somebody who owns a guitar, and before you know it, you spent 15 minutes talking about that band, but you haven't picked any articles for the section. And so it's a matter of keeping everyone on task, and selecting op-ed and political opinion articles are the hardest because everyone wants to give their opinion on the article, not whether we should write the article. Mm-hmm. And so that's sort of the biggest challenge. And the physical space of brainstorming, packing all the kids into my classroom. We've tried it in the main form room, but keeping everyone contained and focused without hearing every single thing they know about that story at the time. But at the same time, that is a benefit because when I assign the articles the next day, if we've had 10 minutes of dialogue about the Tea Party article, the student who gets assigned that article already has 10 minutes of knowledge about it, and that's why we require everyone to be at brainstorming. So when you get your article assignment, if it's something you requested but you didn't get because 15 other people requested the same one, you at least know why you're writing about Croquet Club and what Croquet Club is, because you were at brainstorming and you helped pick it and you understand a little bit about it. Okay, every student on staff, because most of the students are taking this as their junior English, get assigned 2 articles. One we call primary, which is guaranteed to go in if it gets a B- or better. The other is their secondary, which is writing practice. And the students get a week and a half to do both. And so they use class time to interview, to gather information, to write or edit their articles. Twice during the production cycle, we have S-checks, as Chelsea explained. Student check is the first one, where our editors-in-chief or managing editor has a writing conference with every single student on staff. Mm-hmm. And the second one is the style check, where I meet with every single student on staff 2 days before articles are due. while they're meeting with either the student leaders or me, they're also meeting in groups with their mentor or mentee, depending on their writing level, to get additional support. So their article is read 10 times before it even goes to press or before it's even turned in. I collect them on Wednesday. I read all 98 of them in one evening. It's a very frantic day for me. My family knows I'm off limits those days. Meanwhile, our copy editors take home articles for their sections. They also read them. The following morning, so the day after articles are due, we have revision day, where everyone on staff revises their article. So if they got a B- or better, they enter the corrections, they make edits, additions, subtractions, and then they save them in our computers because everything is always typed. We usually have about a 24-hour window there between that day and when we start what we call post-production, which is laying out the pages or posting everything on the website. And that takes us about a week to get all those pieces together. And layout is just a big puzzle. So it's rearranging, arranging everything onto a page. So it's visually attractive and easily readable for our readers. At the same time, the web editors are putting everything onto our website. And we try to make sure that the day we go live online is the day that we come out in print. And so we turn in articles Wednesday. By the following Thursday, we electronically send all of our pages to our printer in Red Wing, Minnesota. And they do all of the production stuff on their end. From usually Friday morning, they get our pages, and it comes back to us Wednesday. We get about 2 days to sort our papers, and then we distribute them the following Friday. So it comes out on Friday, and the following Wednesday, we start all over again.
Yeah.
One of the tools we use to help ourselves get better and learn from what we're doing, in addition to looking at major market publications and exchange papers, is we take a look at ourselves. So the day articles are due, we spend the whole class period evaluating our print and online publication. We start off with just simply what worked well, what do we like, what do we do that we should continue doing, and what are some of our downfalls or areas we need to work on. And we start generally, and then we go through page by page and section by section online. Everything from this article didn't have a news peg to this line wasn't lined up exactly. I think at this point in the year, students are starting to notice very detailed errors, which is good. Copy editing has been a struggle this last couple of issues that we need to continue to focus on, but it forces students to look at what they have done well and what they need to work on, and so they can take ownership of their publication. So that's something we do every single month.